Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Beginner to Expert. This is part 17 Angular 7 tutorial. In this tutorial, I will explain a very interesting things that is all about the data. So how do we share the data among the components? Two different ways we can share the data. So when there is a relationship between the components or among the components, or it could be a no relationship among the components. So in those scenario, how do we share the data? I will show you. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, in order to show how to share the data among the components, I have created one component that is called product. So here actually I'm going to show. So whenever user click on the add to cart should be reflected in the count. Okay, so there is no relationship between that navigation component and my product component, and that is totally independent component. Okay, and also I created one reusable component, so that's why I created one controls folder. Going forward, whatever reusable component would be there, I will keep those components inside the controls folder. Okay, so this is basically a logical structure, you can say. It can be a maintainable, flexible of the application. So that's why I am creating such kind of project structure. Okay, so you can try yourself as well. So now I'm showing you that product component actually having two folder. One is services and another is the mocks. Okay, so mocks nothing but a mockup data to test. Okay, so here mock list, this is nothing but constant. So here I prepared uh, JSON of the product. So you can consider this kind of JSON supposed to get from the backend. I mean to say that service side. Okay, so here are the things. So four product is there. So here I created one product service as well. Here I have written some business logic over here, like so I prepared one method. That method is responsible to return the list of product. Okay, so for demo purpose only I used I mean to say that of operator. So this is nothing but from rxjs. So actually it returns and observable. Okay, so if you do not consider this, if you consider like here I am going to call the http. Okay, and which will return the JSON list. Okay, and that http dot get dot post or put method actually returns subscription. Okay, where we can subscribe it, or you can say observable it returns. Okay, so to achieve the same scenario, okay, that's why I used the of. Means later on when we integrated that service, I will comment this line, and I will write like you can on that this dot http helper dot, suppose let's say fetch, sorry, fetch data is there, and you have to pass that url and configuration optional. So let's say url is there, and then you have to subscribe this. You can check it here. Actually page data returns and observable. Okay, so to achieve this same scenario, I created the same situation. Okay, so of, actually if you hover, then of actually returns observable. Okay, so and then pipe, I am using the pipe. So for delaying the response, suppose you, if you call the http, there also would be some delay. Okay, it could be a millisecond or might be a second. Okay, so here I 1000 millisecond I considered that. Okay, means server or we can get the response from service within 1 second. And after that actually I'm subscribing. Okay, so here a response is coming, and I am assigning this response to product list. This is my variable public, which I am going to use in the html part. Okay, and also Okay, and let me show you product module. Already I discussed how to create the module, how do we inject, and how to configure the route path. So these are the basic things I already discussed. So if you are new with this module, please go through my previous channel video where you can check all the things. Okay, now save this and also save this. Now I'm going to that product component. So in this product component, actually I created that product service, and I want this product service instance to be created at multiple time, as means how many times we supposed to use this product component. Okay, so that's why I register this product service in the component provider level. Okay, now injected, and here I'm calling that get product list. Okay, so if I come to that product component here, I created one reusable component, like let's say app e product list. So this reusable component product list will responsible to list out the list of product with some features like add to cart, add to wish list, quick view, those kind of things. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Actually, this reusable component is having one input, that is called data source. If it is input, then we can decorate it with the bracket. Okay, so I'm passing the list of product. Here you can check the product service dot product list. Here I left that product service, this product service dot product list. This product list is nothing but the subscription whatever we are getting the response from the server side. Okay, another thing is here you can check, this is an event. Okay, so when we talk about the event, then event name should be decorated with the parenthesis, otherwise it will not act as an event. This event means this child means output from child to parent. Here actually I am passing one input data to the child. So this is my child component, and this product component, the parent component. Okay, now I am going to that reusable component, or you can say child component. So here this is my child component. Here you can check that I created also one service for this child component. This is called e-product list service. I'm going to show you that e-product list service is here. Okay, it doesn't contain anything, but in future we can write the business logic over here. And this is my the input name. Okay, and this is my alias name of the input, and which will be a by default blank array. Okay, so list of product we are actually reading from the parent. Okay, let me open that file and side by side so that you can understand properly. Okay, so here product component is my parent component, and this is my child component. Okay, so here I'm reading the data source, that's why I took one input, and this in also one output I took, that is called at the rate output, and this is alias name of the output. And here actually I'm initiating one instance of the event emitter. So this event emitter help us to raise event. Okay, so basically we are means we use this event whenever we need data to be shared from child to parent. Okay, so don't forget to say to the interviewer, whenever interviewer means may ask you that how do you share the data between child to parent component, so that time you should say we will take one output. Okay, along with the event emitter. So we will initiate that instance of the event emitter. Okay, and that event emitter help us to raise or to broadcast the data. Okay, so if you say like this, we are will be happy for your answer. Okay, so most of the time we forget to tell. Okay, and the interviewer expects this class you should say. Okay, so here I am passing one what parameter like true boolean value. So this is like is asynchronous. Okay, so when true, deliver events asynchronously. So I want that asynchronous. That means user should not wait for this event, or page should be responsible, means user can click any of the page. So that's why I want this event should be an asynchronous. Okay, so here add product to cart. If you go my HTML part here, small little bit HTML is there. Okay, so you can check here add to cart. So click event. So this is also an event, and that's why I decorated with the parenthesis, so this is inbuilt event of the Angular. So here also you can check that add to cart. So this is my one event, click event, and I attached my local function or method add product to cart, and I'm passing the product. So here I'm looping through the list of product which I'm getting from the parent with the help of input data source. Okay, so here input product list. Here you can check whether you can check this one. So product list, I'm looking through each product, and here I'm binding some data. And here whenever user click on add to cart, I'm passing the one product object. Okay, so here add product object, and this is what this is an event, and here I'm broadcasting using dot next method. Okay, if you press dot, then what so you can check all the methods and properties available there, but I am using the next method. Okay, so next method actually help us to broadcast the data. So I am broadcasting the product object. Okay, so now you can imagine, so parent and child component. So child component will not http call any. If you go through any reusable component na, so you can check, so there is no dependencies. Okay, with your application. Okay, so it will take input and it will take your output. Okay, that's it. Best practice actually, we should do this, so that we can reuse the component, or might be we can copy this component and we can paste it in other project as well. If there is no dependencies, it is having any dependencies, then we cannot change, means we cannot use this component and to other project. So this is an event, so that's why I kept, means I decorated the name with the parenthesis. Okay, so here I'm attaching one a local method. So that method actually resides in the product service. Dollar event is the predefined, what you can say keyword. It is responsible to capture the child component data whenever the event is raising. Okay, so that's why I kept dollar event. Now if I go to the add product to cart in the product service. Okay, here is the product service. So here actually add product to cart. Okay, so here I'm passing that product actually object is coming from the child component, and here cart service. Okay, so let me show you. I have created one more service that is called cart service. Okay, okay, here, okay, I'm opening that browser. Here you can check, I kept one cart over here. Okay, in the navigation part. So this cart, for this cart means to update or delete or kind of things, any functionality related to the cart. That's why I created one cart service, and all the logic should be in that cart service. Okay, so here you can check similar way. I Okay, okay, let me okay, so add product to cart. Here I'm passing that product object from, okay, let me open that product service. Yeah, add product to cart. So I'm calling the cart service dot add product to cart. So here actually I'm checking the cart list, so whether any item is there in the cart or not. Okay, so if that's why I am finding with the coming product id. Okay, so if found product, then we are actually means prompting user that product with the name already added to the cart. Okay, so if product not found, that means whatever product actually supposed to add, no, means user are clicking to add the product to the cart. So if that product not found, then we are actually pushing that product to the cart list. Okay, and here I am setting, means that cart list, set cart list. Okay, so here one get and getter and setter is there. So getter is nothing but it actually returning an observable. So that notify cart list, so notify cart list actually is type of behavior subject of array type. Okay, so this is actually a main important thing. Whenever two component, okay, is there no relationship between the components or among the components, then in that case we should share the data with the help of one service. Most of the time I see that developer they forget to tell about this behavior subject. Always they just, if you ask to how do you share the data between the components if there is no relationship, they will simply will say that we will use one service, that's it. But if we use the service, but this service will be I also injected this cart service. You can check in the navigation component and as well as the product component. Okay, but there should be a one trigger kind of things where other component will get to know, okay, some data has changed, we have to update something. Okay, so that's why we should use behavior subject or subject here. Whenever data is actually setting to the cut, that time we are broadcasting data. Here you can check after pushing data to the means item to the cart list. After that I am setting that cart list using set cart list. Okay, and whenever user click on that add to cart, that means that time that child component, that means e product list component data actually broadcasting to the parent. Here this is my event of the child, and here I'm capturing those data, means from child data with the help of dollar event. Okay, so here the written means logic is written product service add product to cart. Here also I'm injecting that cart service. So carts are, I'm passing that product to the cart service. Here you can check that add product to cart list ultimate logic is written in the cart service. Now if I open that browser, now I can show you in the console so that you can understand it properly. Okay, so here I will open first product product service, sorry, product service. Here I will put one debugger first time. Whenever page will load, now here you can check that get product list actually called by that get product component. Here you can check that list of product actually I prepared the mockup JSON. Okay, now after 1 second actually we got the response. Here first time it is showing actually loading. So until and unless we are not getting any product response, so user should wait for that. Now here you can check that product list actually I'm assigning, and in the response actually we are getting that product list. That product list actually came. Okay, so with the with the features like quick view, add to wish list, and add to cart over here. Navigation component. So here you can check in the constructor level I am subscribing that cart list. Okay, so that cart service dot cart list, you can check it. in the code here, that cart list. Okay, so this is getter, and this cart list actually returning one observable. Okay, so that's why I subscribing that cart list, and I'm getting the response, and I'm assigning to the one variable. This is called cart list. Okay, now if I refresh the page, okay, here I got first time. So that behavior subject, behavior subject I am passing with blank array. First time actually it is broadcasting, okay, with the blank array. Here it is, you can say blank array. Now if I continue, then you can check. Okay, now I kept the debugger over here. Now if I click the add to cart button, okay, where I kept this is actually that reusable component, product list component. Okay, here is my. Okay, also I will show you, if I click add to cart, okay, then that cart here, cart count should be reflected. Okay, so here if I click add to cart on debugger, so here we are getting that clicked product. Okay, so if I uh, continue the debugging by using, okay, here you can check we are broadcasting. Okay, now where we are getting the response in the parent component, product component service. So there actually we are registering. Okay, product service, here you can check this one. Okay, now we got that child event data in the parent, I mean the parent service. Okay, so now I am actually calling that cart service here. So here you can check the cart list. First time cart list is empty, and now product not found, that means we are uh, adding in that item in the cart list. So one item is added to the cart list. Now I'm setting that set cart list. Okay, now you can check here I'm setting. So here actually dot next method actually we are using to broadcast the data. So other component, I mean to say that a navigation component should get to know that cart list has been modified. Okay, that is why actually I'm broadcasting over here. And you can, as I told you, that navigation component and my product component is totally different component. Okay, there is no relationship. But my product component and the list of product component, there is a relationship between parent and child. Okay, now you can check. See, here is the navigation component. Where whenever that cart list is modified, my navigation component actually got to know, okay, something has changed. First time actually it was empty, now the one item is added. Okay, according to that, that cart list dot length actually I have written inside this HTML. Okay, I will show you. Here you can check navigation component. Okay, here cart list dot length, here actually I'm showing that list of item in the cart. Okay, so that is why actually I am subscribing this cart list. Okay, so now you can I think this message actually now added to cart. Now I think you got to know how do we share the data between the parent to child and child to parent, and if there is no relationship, then how do we share with the help of one service and behavior subject or subject. That's all for the day. So still try it by yourself, and still if you have any queries, please don't forget to put a message in the comment section below. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.